Humans say cats are dramatic. You scream when we knock a glass off the table. You call it chaos. But have you seen what you do to each other online? One week you're calling someone your inspiration. The next week you're scrolling through their college tweets like it's a treasure map to moral failure. And when you find it, oh, the dopamine hits harder than catnip in a heat wave. You say it's accountability. But let's be honest, it's a digital ritual. Public shaming dressed up in hashtags and pixelated pitchforks. You don't even need context, just vibes and a username. Meanwhile, cats, we cancel too, but we do it with elegance. One hiss, one tail flick, we vanish from your life like we were never emotionally invested in the first place. Because we weren't, but you write entire manifestos in comment sections. You form alliances in group chats. You build Google Docs. You dig up MySpace screenshots. Some of you weren't even born when that drama happened. And yet here you are, fighting the good fight in the name of what exactly you call it? Cancel culture. I call it performance anxiety in a crowd of strangers you secretly hate. So let's talk about it. Why humans keep canceling each other for being human. Why your brain loves it. Why it makes you feel powerful until it happens to you. And why cats, despite all our flaws, would never waste energy like that. Not when there's a sunbeam waiting on the windowsill. Let's start with the obvious. Canceling someone feels good, not the part where you pretend to be morally outraged. That's exhausting. The real thrill comes from the little hit of superiority. The rush of knowing someone else messed up and it wasn't you for once. It's a hit of safety wrapped in smugness. And your brain eats it up like it's leftover cake at 3 a.m. The logic is simple. If I shame you first, no one's looking at me. If I shout the loudest, maybe no one will notice that I said something similar back in 2016. Humans pretend it's about justice, but mostly it's preemptive damage control. You cancel people and then watch their apology video like it's a season finale. You analyze their tears, zoom in on their background decor, pause to read what books are behind them. You're not seeking growth, you're rating performances, and it never ends with one. You cancel someone, then someone else for defending them, then someone else for saying nothing. Eventually, you cancel your own friends for not retweeting the right statement fast enough. Your relationships end up built entirely on fear vibes and shared enemies. You know what it really is. It's emotional outsourcing. You're not resolving your own pain, you're redirecting it. You're mad at your boss, your ex, the way capitalism chewed you up and spit you out with a dental plan that doesn't cover anything. But you can't cancel your landlord, so you cancel the comedian who made a bad joke on a podcast in 2013. Because that's manageable. That gives you control in a world that makes you feel disposable. Even though the truth is, you're not canceling people. You're just screaming into a void and hoping someone claps. Now let's talk about apologies. Humans invented this strange ritual where you demand an apology, then immediately judge whether it's sincere enough. You post statements like, if they were truly sorry, they wouldn't have said that to begin with. Cool, by that logic, no one's allowed to change. Growth is invalid if it wasn't pre-approved. You say, they're just sorry they got caught. Of course they are. That's how consequences work. Cats learn not to jump on hot stoves after the burn, not before. But apparently humans demand pre-burn awareness. A sixth sense of political correctness at birth, or else cancel. And if someone dares to say they've changed, you respond with too little too late. Okay, when is just right? What's the exact timestamp for redemption? Is there a grace period, or is it just whenever the crowd gets bored? From here up on my shelf, tail curled, watching your feeds? It doesn't look like justice. It looks like fear, like a bunch of scared people trying to earn moral points from an audience that changes the rules mid-game. You don't have a justice system. You have vibes, and vibes are hungry, they eat nuance for breakfast, and still demand lunch. You've all been both. The one canceling, the one silently purging. No one finds that blog post you wrote in high school. So why do you still play the game? Because cancel culture isn't about one person messing up. It's about reminding everyone else what happens if you slip. It's performative loyalty. You say, I would never make that mistake. What you mean is, please don't come for me next, and that's what makes it so toxic. It's not about holding power accountable. It's about surviving a system that keeps shifting the line. You can never be perfect enough. You can never be safe enough. Because the crowd is hungry, and the spotlight moves fast. So you build a brand of correctness, you pre-cancel yourself in captions, you live online like you're on probation, every sentence, every follow is a possible landmine, and that my anxious little bipeds is not accountability. That's emotional capitalism. That's trading authenticity for temporary protection. That's spending your empathy like it's store credit. Cats, we do not care. We hiss once, we walk away. We don't need a Notes app apology. We need silence and a sunbeam. You, on the other paw, made a spectacle out of guilt. You monetized shame. You turned call-outs into careers. And still no one feels better. Not the cancelled, not the cancelers, not the bystanders holding popcorn and moral confusion. So what now? Let's zoom out. Why does cancel culture exist in the first place? Why did a species with space programs and oat milk end up acting like medieval villagers with Wi-Fi? It starts in the brain. Your nervous system wasn't built for the internet. It evolved to survive tigers, not timelines. You were designed to scan for threats, pick a side fast, and stay with your tribe. Back then, the stakes were survival. Now it's discourse. But your brain doesn't know the difference. It sees a viral post and goes danger, so it reacts. Fight, flight, or repost. This is why you don't pause to check context. You scan tone, not content. You follow vibes, not fact. Because vibes are faster. And in the jungle of Twitter, speed feels like safety. Outrage feels good. Your brain rewards you for expressing disgust. It gives you the illusion of action in a world where most of you feel helpless. You cannot fix inflation, student loans, Wi-Fi, but you can cancel someone who said something weird in 2017, and suddenly you feel in control again. It's not just neurological, it's cultural. You live in a society that sells shame in high resolution. Redemption arcs are monetized. You don't cancel in silence, you live stream it. Hashtag it. Turn pain into engagement metrics. Let's say someone changes. For real. They learn, reflect, grow. You know what most people say. Too late. Too late for what? Your personal timeline. Your favorite version of the narrative. Because the actual work of growing quiet, unviral, non-performative is rarely rewarded. But the public fall from grace that gets the clicks. It's not just celebrities, it's coworkers, exes. That girl from high school who posted a weird meme in 2014. Cancel culture trickled down. Now it's not just about power. It's about punishing people for being visible. The more online you are, the more fragile your humanity becomes. Every joke is a risk. Every opinion a liability. So you curate, pre-edit, build a brand of correctness, and call that authenticity. But cats know better. We don't brand ourselves. We don't edit our meows. We don't pretend to be perfect. We just vanish when the energy gets weird. You on the other paw write long threads about boundaries while secretly hoping no one calls yours into question. You say I'm holding space, but what you mean is, please don't cancel me for breathing wrong. It's exhausting. And the irony, cancel culture was supposed to be about accountability, but it mutated into control. You don't uplift values. You enforce conformity. You don't ask, how can we help someone grow? You ask, how fast can we isolate them before it makes us look bad? And in that rush, you lose the plot. Cancel culture, at its worst, is not justice. It's fear management. It's the anxious performance of righteousness in a system that rewards shame more than sincerity. You weren't built for this. Your nervous system isn't supposed to be exposed to 300 opinions per minute. You're not supposed to watch strangers get destroyed while eating cereal. You're not supposed to vote on someone's worthiness using emojis and timestamps. But here you are, work mode in one tab, witch hunt in the next, running a moral court out of your phone between Slack messages and Google Calendar invites, scrolling through emotional car crashes and calling it productivity. And you wonder why you're tired. You think canceling will make the world better. Sometimes, maybe it does. But most of the time, it just makes you scared to be honest, scared to be curious, scared to ask questions. And when curiosity dies, so does connection. You don't just cancel people, you cancel conversation. And humans need connection more than cats need warm laundry. Yet you torch bridges before they're built, punish nuance, exile vulnerability. Then it's just, why does everyone feel so alone? You know why. So what do? Pause before you post, before you pile on, before you decide someone's entire humanity based on one sentence. Because your nervous system needs rest, your empathy needs airtime, and your serotonin. She left the group chat 3 algorithms ago. Maybe you don't need to cancel someone today. Maybe you need a snack or a nap or a reminder that being human is messy and weird and very, very non-linear. And if you still feel like canceling someone, start with whoever designed email threads with reply all. They deserve it. Most people who get cancelled, they're not monsters, just messy, like you, like everyone, flawed, reactive, trying to be better while pretending they already are. But cancel culture doesn't leave room for that. It demands instant transformation. No grace, no glitch, just vanish. You want shame, not repair, headlines, not healing. And that's what stings the most. Not that someone messed up, but that deep down you never wanted them to grow. You just wanted them gone. Cats don't do that. We disappear when the energy shifts. No essays, no spectacle, just silence, cleaner than discourse. But you drag pain into the spotlight and wonder why no one claps. You trade connection for control and call it maturity. You cancel conversations before they start. Then you scroll wondering why everyone feels alone. You want redemption. Start by giving it. You're not broken, just overwhelmed. Maybe forgiveness starts there. To others, to yourself, or at least to the version of you that still believed in grace. And if that feels too hard today, maybe don't cancel someone. Maybe cancel your to-do list. Make a snack. Mute your guilt. Talk to someone who won't go through your old tweets. Like a cat. Because here's the kicker. You don't need closure. You don't need the crowd's approval. You don't need to perform forgiveness or harvest likes. You just need a soft place to land. And preferably no comment section. You want redemption? Start by giving it. Or petting a cat. Same effect.